And so, hello everyone. This is Ali from Fourth Generation for Education. Today we are excited to have a group of people who are going to join us in this discussion. And let me tell you a little bit about our audience. We have 53% in the Middle East. We have 33% are based in Asia. We have people attending in Africa and people from Europe. Many of the attendees, they are teachers. So 67% are teachers. And then the majority, 67%, they have not heard about design for change. This is really the opportunity to share with them and to let them know more about design for change. Let me introduce our speakers for today, and I would like to start with Kiran. Kiran is a designer, but then from the design, she moved to become a teacher and a principal. She started a school in India, and she's currently based in India, where she developed like design for change, where design for change is a very simple design framework with 4 steps: feel, imagine, do, and share. And Kiran will be sharing with us a lot of the ideas and a lot of the projects that she's involved in around the world. Our host, Shirin, or as usual, I call her Miss Shirin. She's an educator. She's been in the education field for more than 31st year, and she's been as a principal, teacher, and she's a trainer. She's passionate advocate of children leadership skills and children rights, and currently she's a partner with Design for Change in Jordan, and she started her own educational consultancy. Shirin will be leading the discussion today and will be running the show. Nada, Nada holds a master's degree in environmental economics and management. And then after being a mother, she decided to join the Design for Change and the sustainability together. And she is a partner of Design for Change in Lebanon. And she's based currently in Switzerland. And she do a lot of travel between Lebanon and Switzerland. And finally, I would like to introduce Hala. Hala, she's only 13 years old. She's a lifelong learner. She's based in Saida, and she's attending a school called Aisha School that belongs to Maqasid Association in Saida in Lebanon. 3 years ago, she joined Design for Change, and she's working on different projects. And for her, Design for Change believe in the kids, in their superpower, and in their ability to change the world to make it a better place. So look at this: Ali based in Dubai, Hala in Lebanon, Nada in Switzerland, Kiran in India, and Shirin in Jordan. Hopefully you will be enjoying our discussion today. And as I can see, just to say hello for all the people who are attending in the chat, we have people from Zambia, people from KSA, people from Spain, people from Lebanon again, from India, Bangladesh, Egypt. So welcome everyone. And again, I'm going to keep an eye on Facebook also to see our attendees who are looking at our discussion on Facebook. Shirin, I'm going to let you take the lead, and let me tell everyone, if you have any question, please feel free to share it in the question and answer at the end of the session. I'm going to be back with you, and then we are going to check on those questions, and we are going to answer those questions. So enjoy the talk. It's a 1-hour talk, and I'm sure it will be very fast because we prepared for you a very interesting discussion for this afternoon.
Okay.
Thank you, Ali.
Thank you. First of all, Ali, thank you for this wonderful introduction. And I'm going to start my questions. I have to keep my eye on the time. So I have to give you each, your allotted time. But I will start with our guru and our spiritual mother, the Met, who inspired us all into this wonderful initiative that she's going to hopefully give us, an idea about. Please start, Kiran, by telling us a bit about yourself and then about the magic of Design for Change.
Thank you, Shirin, for that lovely introduction. But I am nobody's mother.
Spiritual.
Queen is fine.
You are.
Well, thank you. Yes, my name is Kiran. I come from India. And many, many years ago, I became a mama. And I think my first introduction into the whole idea of learning and education came from just as a mother. So when my son was very young and he was going to a school, I realized very early how quickly education diminishes a child's entire personality and existence. They don't have a name, they don't have a story, they're just a statistic in a country or a nation. And so often we don't hear their voice. We tell them, you must keep quiet, you must listen to us. And we don't do that for 1 day or 1 month or 1 year. We do that for 15 years.
Yeah.
And the entire existence of them, we reduce into just one grade or one number. So I think for me, because I came from a design background, I kind of felt, boss, there has to be a better way. This can't be it. So I think I chose, and that's why I keep saying that choice is the greatest gift to give yourself.
Yeah.
Rather than blame and complain about the system, I took him out and I said, let me start a school.
Yeah.
So 20 years ago, I pretty much started the Riverside School and essentially got into a journey of curiosity and learning. So rather than becoming a place to teach, I think it became a wonderful sort of lab and growing and a hub to learn. So in the beginning, I think our children were our greatest experts because we were listening to them and understanding from them how they wanted to learn, what it meant to have a voice, what it meant to be the change. And I think the 3 filters that we removed from our existence was age. So at no point were we looking at children and saying, oh, you're too young, maybe later, now you have to study. The second filter we often use is gender. We start looking at, oh, girls and boys. Girls can do this and boys can do this. And the third gender is demographics. The idea that, you know, if you come from a certain space, then you have resources or abilities, otherwise no. So if you remove these 3 filters and you really listen to children and invest, every child is able to blossom and you know, live out their full potential. So that was pretty evident. So when we started Riverside, it was so evident that our children were such agents of change. And subsequently then when we saw the magic at Riverside, we said, boss, this has to go to the world. This can't be just for our children. So in 2009, we just kind of took the same sort of ICANN magic formula, which is the feel, imagine, do, share, and created a simple framework and then unleashed it into the world. So today, you are there as a partner in Jordan, and my Nada is there as a partner in Lebanon, and my Hala is a classic case study of this potential in child. So yes, today Design for Change is offering this 4-step magic. So for all the teachers or all the schools that might be listening, my appeal to you is all of us wish for our children to be agents of change. But if that agency can be catalyzed by empathy, then that's a magic formula. So I will encourage you to go to Design for Change, the dfcworld.com website, and just look at that and see what that fit is for you. Yes, so today we're in 70 countries, even in Dubai, even in France, even in Zambia. So find your
very contagious, right?
Contagious.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us more about why you call it now, you call the world for revolution and not revolution in education.
I think COVID has given us an opportunity, right? It's kind of flipped everything on its head. And I think it unmasked an already broken system. So I think whilst all of us kind of knew that there were things that were broken, I think if COVID had just come to 1 or 2 countries, I don't think we would have woken up. I think the very fact that it went across the world and that it was like an equal opportunity sort of virus. It didn't care where you came from. It didn't care how rich you were, how poor you were. It didn't care what language you spoke and whatever. So it became a universal wake-up call. And I think when you have a universal wake-up call, it becomes an opportunity to either revolutionize what is broken and then be able to come up with a new way. But for me, when I say, if you look at the spelling of revolution, you'll see that the word love is embedded right in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So and I think the love portion is what's going to make this moment important for the future. And it's going to shape and provide us the direction if we go off. Love, I think, is the greatest glue and gift you give somebody else. So I think if we are able to look at what the power of love as a fuel, as the fuel to take us forward, I believe we will walk into a future with a lot more compassion. So I'm really, really hopeful for that, yes.
So Kiran, how do you think DFC will change the world?
Well, DFC is already changing the world.
It is. How is it changing the world?
Well, when I see people like Hala, or when I meet Sonam, or when we talk about all our children that we meet, I think the lie that we kept telling our children that, one day when you grow up, you will make the world a better place. It's debunked and demystified when you see Hala, who's all of 13 and is saying, no, look at me today. I'm here today. And I have the capacity to make the world a better place today. Yeah. So I think what DFC has done is made that visible to the world. And we've done it now for 10 years. I mean, now our 11th year. So we're not just a flash in the pan. We're not telling you, hey, this is a great idea because I think so. It's been done, and it's given you the evidence, and it's given you the opportunity to meet these children where they are, no matter what profile of school. And that, I think, is Design for Change's greatest contribution. Whether you're a child in a little village school in India, or in Dubai, in a private school in Dubai, or in the Amazon forest, wherever you are, you have everything within you to make the change happen. And all it needs is one adult who listens.
Who listens, yeah.
And that's all. One adult who believes. And for that, you don't need a PhD or you don't need any training.
You need a good heart.
You need a good heart.
So can you give us examples? Like, I remember, quite a few stories, like the children changed Ahmedabad streets for, a child-friendly street, or a child-friendly country. Tell us briefly how you did that, with your school, with the children of Design for Change in India and so on. Give us an example so that the listener can understand exactly what it is children are capable of.
I mean, I'll have to kind of give you two examples, because one, to tell you how simple. We are not asking for grand acts of change. We're just saying change your world. We're not necessarily saying change the world. We're saying when you change your world, and all of us do that, then the world will get change, right? So I'll give you two examples. One, I know my wonderful CEO is Monica is listening to this at the moment.
Oh,
so I'm going to take
her.
I'm going to take her lovely story that came from Spain. A tiny little 3-year-old children went to a park, and they realized that the garbage can was too high, and they were not able to put the garbage into the garbage can. And they decided this is not good enough. So they came back and they kind of brainstormed, and then they decided to put a garbage can at their height. And they went to the park in the pole, and they stuck their garbage can at their height. Very simple, but a beautiful solution. So much so that the mayor saw this and said, "What a fantastic idea!" Small story, but it basically gave it's demonstrating the power of child, no matter what age you are. The other is a much grander story that actually came from Riverside. In 2007, a lot of my children, my first batch, has shared with me that they don't go out and play on the streets, and the streets are not kind of safe for children. I said, how is this possible? So they said, ma'am, we want to change that, and we want to make sure our city is safe. So they went to the municipality, they went to the police, they went to the design college, they went to the management college, and basically sat there and did not leave till the police commissioner said, okay, I will give you the street. Please leave now. So much so that the street then became a metaphor. It was not necessarily the street, but it was a metaphor for a city, that we are willing to close down the busiest street for traffic for our children.
And
what a
change it.
fantastic message for our children,
It
right?
was, yeah.
So that's, and so of course now it's been going on for now 13 years. So these are just some of the examples when you remove the filter of age, gender, and demographics, and just listen to our children.
That's great. Thank you, Kiran. I think I have to move to Nada now. Good morning or good afternoon. What time is it in Switzerland, Nada, now?
It's 2:15, about 2:15.
Okay, so it's very close to our time here in Jordan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Shirin?
I'm good. I miss you. And I miss our,
Yes.
you know, our time together when we used to go to our annual celebrations for Design for Change. I hope this, you know, we'll get back to that soon. So tell me about your journey with Design for Change Lebanon. How did you join? What was it that attracted you most to this wonderful initiative?
Besides me.
That's a given. That's a given.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it started. Okay, I have to give you the exact picture. I was sitting on my bed, pregnant 8 months, going through all the possible challenges that I will have as a mother, as an educator, etc. And I was browsing on the internet, and I stumbled on the wonderful TED Talk that you have made, Kiran, about kids taking charge. Already the title was very appealing. And I got instantly inspired. So I wrote an email to Kiran saying why we had to absolutely start DFC in Lebanon. And I was hoping, praying that DFC didn't already start in Lebanon, because I wanted to take it there. And then Kiran replied with a very, as usual, positive, warm response.
Yeah.
And she invited me to the Be the Change celebration that took place in India in 2014. And so that was my first encounter. So Be the Change celebration is where the children go and showcase their projects, and it's magical 2-3 days. So I had meetings with the partners from different countries, with Kiran, and I came back so enthusiastic, so charged with a lot of energy. And I started contacting NGOs that were working in Lebanon with children. So among them, AFEL, that work on children protection, or the Society for the Protection of Nature in Lebanon, that work on the environmental side, so environmental education. And we started there. And we got quite a nice project and very good success. So we were able to get funds later on. So we were able to expand to other children slowly. And that's where we are now. We are still expanding. Of course, with the last crisis, it was a bit, it was put on a halt, but hopefully it will start again.
Nada, can you give us an example of a success story that, you know, is most memorable to you? And can you mention the FIDS 4 steps in how you use them, you know, how you train the children to find these solutions, do them and share them? Because we haven't really highlighted FIDS for our audience so that they understand a little bit more about how Design for Change takes place, you know, and changes, you know.
Of course. So I will start with the
with
FIDS.
an example and how you used it through the FIDS steps.
Okay, so one of the example was a group of children that worked on sorting the waste, because they saw actually two challenges, sorry, in their community. One of them was waste management, so there was quite some waste around them, and the second one was vulnerable families, especially within refugee communities, that were at the door of their city. So they thought of combining both challenges with one design solution by sorting the waste and selling the waste to an NGO. And then every 2 months they were able to help a vulnerable family, a family in need around them. So that was a sustainable project. It stayed for quite some time. And to go back to the framework, then how does
Exactly. Yes.
that were made? So basically, the children get to feel the community around them. So what are the challenges? What can be improved? And what are the real causes of these challenges? So this is really important. And that's where also empathy gets into play. The second step, when the challenge has been defined, they have to think about the best case scenario. So what if this problem was not here? How would the situation be? And then that becomes their objective, and they brainstorm on solutions.
Mm-hmm.
In the third step, they implement the solution that they have chosen. They have to find the funds. They have to do everything from A to Z. The last step, which is sharing, they actually share the outcome of the project with their community. They share among themselves how they were transformed, what happened in their community. And so these 4 steps allow for so many skills to be developed. Between empathy, being optimistic, developing the creativity or problem-solving skills, perseverance. So how do I take a project from the beginning to the end? And that's really, really important in these times, because we are so much distracted by so many things, and we get to lose the focus. So here it's really going from the beginning to the end, and that's really important.
See, my favorite sentence always is that we change the children from a culture, having a culture or living in a culture of blame, to a culture of doing, problem solving. And this is how eventually you change generations and you actually change the world, one little step at a time. I would strongly recommend, and this is on your behalf, Kiran, that anyone listening to us now, and they know of children who are performing these incredible stories of change, whether they have to do with poverty or social injustice or sustainability of Earth, please visit DFC World website and upload your story. A light will appear on the world map, and it will carry the name of the child or children, names of the children who carried out that story, who carried out that incredible act, and the whole world will see it. So on behalf of Kiran, please go to our website and look at examples of incredible stories from all over the world, from 75 plus countries, what the children are capable of doing every day. Please do. Yeah.
Because it just came now. The good thing about this framework, there are a lot of good things, but one of the good things is that it democratizes the access to character building in schools. Because we usually see character building mostly in private schools at different levels, of course, but schools that have to work, public schools in a few countries are still very conventional, so they don't really work on the life skills. So the FIDS framework is, first of all, very easy to implement. Second, you can download a simple toolkit from the website, and you have access to the information. Of course, trainings can be given also, but this is if you want to go more in depth. And third the third point is that it can be integrated within the school curriculum without big modification. So that's really very easy tool to use.
I guess it adds the humane part that I think, and I believe our education systems have sort of sidetracked with time, and they have started concentrating more on information, on grades, and on what is your famous sentence, Kiran?
Markable and not remarkable.
Yes, and should do good and do well, not just do well, you know. So yes.
And I just want to add, and I love
do.
what Nada has been sharing regarding the idea of character building. I think one of the things that we realized very early on, that our children didn't have positive role models.
Yeah.
And whoever they were there were either extremely distant from them in terms of either age or in terms of, you know, times in history.
Mm.
And a wonderful thing that happens with children, and the first nudge of citizenship comes from the ability to see something happen and to tell yourself, I can do that too. And what Nada says about the fourth step, which I keep saying is my favorite step about sharing, is that you give possibility to another child. You give the opportunity to say, I can. When you see another child in a similar context or in different context, say, oh, I didn't know an 11-year-old could do that. I can do that too.
I can.
So suddenly our children are becoming role models for each other. And what a better way to get inspired, you know, from each other's agency. So in many ways, it builds the first nudge towards the idea of citizenship and character building. And then when you go through the 4 steps, you're able to, like Nada says, action each of those and implement that. So I'm telling you, it's a magic formula.
And I want to add also something, although I should be only asking questions. But because this initiative starts with the child at age 3, at age 4, and ends at age 18, imagine 15 years, 10 years of schooling, of training the children to think in design thinking and to use the FIDS, you know, framework to problem solve. There's no way these children will do but good in this world. Yeah.
That's the revolution. That's the real evolution.
That's the real evolution. That's exactly the real evolution.
Exactly.
Okay, so going back to Nada, we need to now talk about Lebanon. And you started an initiative, and this is an example of how Design for Change can also help, you know, any part of the world. Sudan is now, you know, flooding with water. You know, there's always something happening somewhere. But we're taking today an example from Lebanon and from the devastation that they had to live through for the last month or so. A lot of initiatives have started by, you know, supporting them with the finances, with money, with medical aid, and so on. But Nada is going to talk about what children can do to support children and why she has started this initiative with other DFC partners, and it's DFC Connect for Lebanon, right? So please shed some more light on that, Nada, for us.
Sure. I will start with the background. So DFC Connect is an online platform to connect children from different countries. And it was started in Singapore, with DFC Singapore, when confinement started. So there was a real need to have these children communicating and sharing about how they felt about the new situation, what was their experience, and sharing also fun things, talents, etc. And so as Kiran so well said, sharing is very important because it elevates people to the same knowledge as you have, the same capacities, and it inspires others. So DFC Singapore had done a study on the impact of DFC Connect, and they saw that children that had participated to these sessions felt happier and more inspired after the session than before.
Yes.
So and more hopeful. I think what was really critical, not just happy but hopeful. Yeah. And that's the power.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Right? They didn't feel weighed down by just the news and the negativity. For the first time, they were feeling there's light, and there is hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And so this is how I thought that creating a new DFC Connect for Lebanon would have a positive impact, because of course the situation is much more complex in Lebanon because we have like different crises that are toppled on top of each other. But this would open a window to the children in Lebanon, a window to the world, to get them out of their daily lives, to see that other things are happening, and connecting with others can create also empathy both ways. We have had, after the blast, so many messages that came from DFC children and DFC partners from different countries. So we had from, for example, we had from Singapore, from Serbia, from Greece, from Taiwan, from the US, from Zambia, from Bhutan, from all over the world. These messages were a proof of our strong collaboration and strong bond, human bond.
Our shared humanity.
Exactly, exactly. And so by creating DFC Connect Lebanon, we want to take this step further to strengthen this bond.
So tell us, what would you like from the children of, you know, the world? How should they support DFC Connect? What should they do? What do you need from them?
Well, by simply connecting, participating, and bringing their humanity. And that's all. It's as simple as that. There is no academics involved, no knowledge involved. It's just like the simple person being present and being curious and wanting to share positive things, or even
such as, you know, it could be even letters of support, you know, pictures, you know. Can you give us examples?
We have received a lot of these messages that were pictures and even videos that were shared with us directly, and we sent them to the children in Lebanon that had participated to the projects. And these were just such messages, really, like the drawings, the time that they took in drawing these things. They are posted on the Design for Change Lebanon Facebook page. So everyone can go and see a sample of it, because I did not post it yet. Bhutan had sent prayers. They had made a prayer.
I saw that, amazing.
Morning, and it was such an amazing prayer. It was really warm. And we had, yes, like sometimes it was just written messages about the culture of the children and what are their way of seeing with crisis. So it's just incredible.
So
the power
a kind word goes a long way, especially for these children, and they don't feel alone in this world.
Exactly.
I think Hala can share more about that, right?
Please, yeah.
Hala, how has the situation in Lebanon been since? Can you give us some understanding about what the mood of the nation is? What's the mood of the children? And what do you feel the world needs to do? Yeah, Hala? Can you hear us?
Are you talking with me?
Yes, Hala, yes.
I'm talking to you, yes.
Yes, can you repeat, please?
I just wanted to say, can you tell us a little bit more about what's happening? What's the mood in Lebanon at the moment? What are the children feeling?
Truly at the moment, like, we're hoping and we're working that everything is going to go well. We are trying to forget what happened and rebuild Beirut, and we want that Beirut will rise again, and everything will go well, and everything is going to get back as it was if we were together. And what about the mood? Actually, we are a little bit sad, but trying to feel like have more positive vibes, to be more optimistic. Yes.
Okay. So Hala, can you tell us why your voice and children's voices matter?
I can say that every voice matters, and especially our voices, because we are revolutionaries who see the world as it should be. We seek to make the whole world a better place through our passion and through empathy. It's so simple. We are the hope of the future, and we are the future.
You
We
sure
want to
are.
be happy, and we know that happiness needs to be worked for.
Do
Ooh,
you
I love
use,
that.
yeah, it's amazing.
I love that you say that happiness needs to be worked for. And what do you
Exactly.
need from adults? What do you need from, say, teachers? What do you need from adults? How can we support this mission?
How can we support what?
How can we support children's voices? What do you need from adults? If you had to give all the adults some advice and say, what would you ask us?
Okay, I just want to say that adults need to be by our back to let us be more aware of what's happening, and to let us
Support.
more having the opportunity to express our ideas and what we want. Yes,
So you
True.
feel we should listen more, right?
yes,
Yeah,
yes. We should
listen to
listen
your
more
voice. Yeah.
to the kids, to let them have the opportunity to speak out and share their ideas, their interests, and everything they need, so we can make the world better.
So tell us about the FIDS framework in your school. How does it work?
So
Do you have
design
like
for
special lessons for design for change, or is it embedded in your everyday learning? How does it work? The FIDS.
so design for change framework teaches us how to feel, which means to show empathy, to put ourselves in someone's shoes and understand what they're going through, to feel what they're feeling. And that's what my friends and I did in all the projects we worked on, such as bullying elderly people, and the last project that was about the explosion that happened in Beirut. We learned how to connect with others on deeper levels, to ask them correct questions, to listen to their hopes and understand their frustrations. And
Wow.
one more important thing we learned as we were working cooperatively with other friends, that we should never give up on any issue that bothers us. We should speak out since our voices should be heard, and
Yay.
never underestimate an issue unless we experience it, and to use yes instead of no, and use and instead of but, to enhance our and our friends' creativity. And
I
I can
love that.
Allah, you're amazing.
Allah, I suggest we should all retire, and
and
the world is in very good hands.
That's amazing. And
Go on,
so
tell us more. What
tell us
about the
about,
imagine?
oh yes.
and I want to say that design for change teaches us how to be a part of our community and a designer for the whole world, right?
Yes, right.
Absolutely right. So can you tell me a little bit more about this project you did for Beirut? Can you tell us, you said your last DFC project. Can you share a little bit
Yes,
more about that?
yes. So after the massive explosion at the port of Beirut, we as Lebanese citizens decided to extend a hand and empathize with the devastated Lebanese and add value to them. So we decided to take an action to support and bring hope to our beloved city, Beirut. So powered by our praise and belief that Beirut will rise again, we launched a campaign called Beirut Will Not Die If We Are Together. We carried out the campaign on social media to secure the necessary food, clothing, toys, games, and stories for those affected. And with the cooperation of St. Joseph High School in Saida, we worked for 10 days, packing 50 parcels, sorting cloth, and collecting stories and games. And on August 21st, accompanied by the director of Doha School and a volunteer team, we headed to the NGO Community Center so that our help would be a spotlight on the lives of our affected parents.
Wow,
Wow.
that's amazing.
Did you share this project or this movement with other schools so that other schools could also participate?
Yes, yes.
And how many
We
schools then can choose to be part of this?
Yes, we recorded a video about our campaign and we shared it on social media so that can everyone not just schools all over, like all the countries all over the world, so they can see the project that we worked on and the campaign also.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can retire. This is it. We have, I mean, this is the reason.
Happily.
Happily.
Okay.
Hala, you are amazing.
She is amazing. I have a few other questions for Hala.
Yes.
Okay, so describe in one word what the world needs most today.
Compassion.
Compassion. Okay.
Yes.
And if you're going to describe Kiran and DFC in a couple of words.
Look, actually, Kiran, I have plenty of descriptions that I want to tell her, but I can say that Kiran have vitality.
Oh, wow. That's so
true. Thank you. Please tell Shirin that I don't want to be announced as the mother.
I take it back. Please, audience, forget that.
And change the change.
It is the change. And the change begins with wonderful people like you, children. I want to say children, but it's like talking to an adult who is so knowledgeable, you know, a child who knows more than most of us do. What magic would you like to see take place in Lebanon overnight to make the sad parts never return? Describe your wish in one short sentence to the world.
Maybe I would like to have a magic rain that spreads peace, secure, and stability all over Lebanon.
That is so true, because moment you feel safe, anybody can learn. Moment you remove threat, and I think you've said such a powerful word that, of course, there are so many other things you can do, but just the idea of safety suddenly gives you comfort and that power to go ahead and learn.
Confidence also.
Absolutely, absolutely right. Spot on, Hala.
That is wonderful, Hala, and we've learned so much from you. Okay, Ali, would you like us to take some questions, or shall we carry on with the fire round questions? What would you like?
I'm back. You are inspiring everyone on Facebook and in the chat. A lot of aha moment, a lot of people saying, wow, Hala, you inspired all our attendees watching from everywhere. And I have maybe a question to Nada. Nada, they are asking, Ala is asking, how can we join DFC Lebanon?
No.
That's really great. I can give you my email, and then whoever wants to join can write to me, and then we can discuss, because there is a lot to do. So DFC, like Design for Change.
Nada, if you don't mind putting it in the chat.
Oh, yes. And yeah, true.
Yes. So in this case, people
also, Ali, that if they go on to dfcworld.com and they check from the countries Lebanon, they'll be also able to reach Hala. I mean, sorry, Nada.
Nada. So, I've put in the chat the website on Facebook and here on Zoom, and hopefully this inspiring talk will bring more people to support us and to lead the change.
And we will all vote for Hala to be the next Prime Minister of Lebanon.
Oh,
yes, yes.
So many issues.
We need more women. We need more women in places of power.
And I have a question from Facebook. Dina is asking, how can we support the children in Beirut? So do they contact you as well?
So usually the way I work is working with NGOs that have a children audience, or I work through schools. But obviously it never happens, but of course children can contact me, and they can come up as a group of friends to work on a project. They can come alone. All formats are possible. There is no restriction. That's the point of Design for Change.
Ali, but then if people are outside Lebanon and they would like to support the children, how can they do it? So do they contact you?
People outside of Lebanon. Yes, yes, of course. And as a matter of fact, we are also soon sending on our Facebook page an initiative and a call to all the Lebanese children living abroad that would like to support Beirut. So that is also something to check out for, or they can contact me directly again.
Okay, so I'm going to tell Dina, just message me, or you can go on the website of Design for Change and you will find all the contacts and the details.
All the countries as well, yeah.
Yes, all the countries are on the website, Dina. I've put this on the chat on Facebook, and I'm having the two chats going on.
Ali, wait. I want to read a sentence that was written on behalf of Hala. So it's from Uma, and she says, the world is in safe hands, Hala. Let us take a leaf out of Hala Bravo.
Thank you so much.
Nada, Kamen, if you can put for us the Facebook page of Design for Change Lebanon, people are asking for it. Shirin, still have around 5 minutes, and I know you still have some questions.
Kiran?
So let's go ahead.
Okay, so Kiran, what is your message to the world today? One short sentence.
You only have one world.
That's true. Let's take care of it. And if you were the queen of the world today, what would you abolish? What would you abolish immediately, and what would you plant in its place? One word, 2 words.
First, if I was queen, I would retire and go to a spa treatment and just relax. But
there you go.
Corruption. Since I cannot, I would say I would want people to listen with their heart.
Very nice. Yeah. Okay. A nickname your parents used to call you?
Gudiya.
What does
Gudiya
that mean?
means doll.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Okay, let's see Nada. Nada, do you know how to salsa dance?
Ooh.
Merengue I did. Salsa no, but it should be very far away.
Okay, so what is the most imminent form of help you want the world to provide the children of Lebanon with today? One word or one sentence. Imminent help today for the children.
Wow. Imminent help. I think it would be to bring back hope. So through, the blast has created a big trauma. And I'm afraid that this generation, if they are not taken care of and they don't take care of each other, might end up with symptoms of PTSDs in different ways. And so maybe being able to work on that side as an imminent action would be good.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, how good a driver are you?
So the question is, how good of a driver I am in Switzerland or in Lebanon?
In Lebanon.
In Lebanon, I would say 9, but that makes it very low in Switzerland.
Oh, wow. You must be really good. All right. So, and in the world of education, what is the one thing that is lacking most?
I think I will go back to what I said is letting the child listening to the child basically, and adapting the curriculum to their character, and letting them build their character throughout the curriculum.
So we need to focus on the child more.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, all of you. Do you have any questions? Any comments? Please share.
You're amazing, Shirin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Often a moderator sets the tone for a conversation. So thank you. for moderating a
You're
fun
welcome.
conversation.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Hala.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Amazing.
It was a great time spent with you.
Hala, we fell in love with you.
Thank
Stay
you.
hopeful, stay strong.
Me too.
We're all with you.
Bye, Nada. Thank you,
Bye
Ali.
again.
Thank you,
Oh, thank
everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Ali. Also, yeah, go ahead.
It was really an amazing time spent with you.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So we
Thank you,
didn't
Ali.
feel that time. I would like to thank everyone, all our attendees here on Zoom and all the attendees on Facebook. As I said, you inspired everyone. For all our coordinators in IB schools, PYP school, Design for Change is a great website where you can bring action, bring everyone together. We need you, if not in Lebanon, anywhere where people are suffering and they are having difficulties. Together, we can do that change and together for a better place. I hope we inspired also Stefan from in France. So because Stefan didn't know about Design for Change,
Oh, wow.
and then Stefan is my partner, and so he was watching, which means he was attracted till the end of the
Oh,
session.
wow.
Hala, hopefully I will be able to see you in Lebanon
Yeah.
very soon. Kiran, it was great also to have this chat with you. And Nada, hopefully our project will be in place soon. And Shirin, it's always nice to be with you and to talk with you.
And thank you, Ali, for giving
Yes.
us the time to talk about Design for Change. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Great day.
Bye.
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 Shirin?